it's a good time for Dandy to be back in the jungle because there's a lot that he can get done early on in the season.
And I like that they gave him Lung, a champion, a player that he can go up there, get good things for. If Lung gets tankies, good things always used to happen for Energy Pacemaker. So see whether Dandy around Easy Hoon and Lung can get things going.
Well, we are into Champ Select now. VICI on the blue, OMG over on the red to kick things off in this second best of 3. And our only other one of the evening. Kindred banned away. That's probably going to be consistent all night long, it feels like. And at this point, probably all week long.
Yeah, you first pick it or you ban it. It's just very strong at the moment. Definitely agree with the teams taking it off the board. The mobility of Kindred is what really kills you. First clear with red buff, you get tagged once by Kindred. It's honestly a flash.
Yeah, your summoner is dead or you are.
Yeah,
so,
you fight or you get the heck out of dodge.
Makes a lot of sense there, as we are going to see another ban coming out for VICI. Taking their time here with this one, actually. 5 seconds left to go. The Kindred one was easy. Is going to be Gangplank seeing another ban this evening, though.
So Gangplank actually a little bit more prioritized than we thought it might be. Of course, Trinity Force Essence Reaver gave Gangplank a really strong 2-item spike with a 40% cooldown reduction. So not really all that surprised to see the Gangplank bans coming out tonight. And we'll see what OMG want to do. Both teams taking a while.
Yeah. Going to make sure they have these locked in, but Quinn's actually the ban there for OMG. So we did see Looper play it once already, relatively impressively there as well. Misfortune going to get the ban as well, so a little bit more standard now, as VICI do take away their final ban. OMG now going to line things up. It's Graves that gets banned for the first time this evening. Yeah,
so Misfortune, Graves, the two final bans that come out. 280 carries, and there's Rise.
Instantly picked up there for VICI. I mean, Easy Hoon, definitely a confident Rise player. Maybe a flex on the top side as well, but that's an easy first pick for your star mid laner.
Yeah, it certainly is. The good thing about Rise is he's a hyper-scaling mage with great CC that peaks at about level 9 with 2 items and has wave clear. So, there's not much wrong with his kit right now, and good to see that he can come out in the second set for the LPL.
Was banned a few times, I believe both times in the last game? Yes, was banned both times by EDG in the last series there, I believe. So clearly respecting the power of the champion there, but does get through here in this game. See how much work Easy Hoon can get done with the champion. His debut LPL game. OMG, though, taking their time with his first few picks. Looking at Rek'Sai right now, sort of a throwback jungler. I haven't seen too much of her, but certainly a perfectly fine pick. And Alistar, been very popular all evening long. It was a champion amazing. Again, now known as 5, did play a bit of, but Lissandra Ali going to be the picks here.
Yeah, so Alistar picked up. And I like that you mentioned the fact that 5 did used to play it a lot, because we kind of think of him as like this good engaged support, kind of like Mako 0.5. He's able to get in there, mix it up. Not great vision control coming out of 5, but will be able to start team fights for his team. Not much hesitation on him.
No, and speaking of no hesitation, very quick drafting here for VICI. Rek'Sai Trundle, their pickups almost instantly here in this particular draft. And again, we talked about Rek'Sai. We thought Dandy might be mixing things up, but he's going to stick to the relatively safe tank junglers, at least for this particular game.
Yeah, cast a curse. I was like, very versatile, can play anything.
Get in there, Rengar.
Gragas, Rek'Sai only for the whole split.
Well, he's back in the jungle. He might have to readjust. He's going to at least take Rek'Sai into this game. Is OMG going to try and line up picks 3 and 4? Someone Z was certainly a well-known Kalista player, so he's going to flash it here. And Elise, of course, solid as always. And there it is. Oh, Elise. Yep, Elise Kalista. Thought they'd swap back to Rek'Sai, but that can't happen because Dandy has it already.
Yeah, exactly right. And, that's actually a really good mid-game composition right now for OMG. And we mentioned the fact that VICI might want to take the game late. So I like the fact that OMG, they spot that out. All of a sudden, there's a lot of threat on not only neutrals, but pretty good siege and dive potential out of the Alistar-Lissandra combo. So we'll see whether they're able to accelerate the pace of this game and really kick it off quickly.
You can see VICI hovering what I like to call the twin sisters, because every time I see them in game, I think they're the same champion. But Poppy and Tristana going to be the same. Sorry, at least from the thumbnail is what I meant there. I mean, we saw Poppy do work for Looper in the last game. There is Poppy actually locked in. Endless going to take Triss once again. Was a trademark pick of his last season. And VICI Gaming, they're done with this draft.
Yeah, they certainly are. And wow, what a power draft it is. Good siege potential coming out of Tristana. Triss, I actually like in this kind of comp because she is the only person that can really hit turrets. So you need someone that shreds through them really quickly, right? Tristana does that. Also very good mobility to navigate her way around the battlefield. Poppy, on the other hand, just is kind of like the new Hecarim. Feels like that champion. You build 1 damage item. It's a Sheen item as well, but probably Iceborne Gauntlet. The rest of it, pure tank CDR. Get on top of someone, never leave. and just continually whittle them away. Pretty much an anti-carry.
Yep.
Performs very well with teleport. Good CC. We're going to see Lung take that into the top lane.
Yeah, and that was pretty much Poppy's old role as far as identities go. She was a big anti-carry. Pretty different now after that rework, but still just as annoying.
Poppy's old role was AP Jungle Poppy.
Maybe
Take
for you, Spawn. Maybe
Take
for
that
you
back.
as OMG. Considering this last pick here, Dark, their B-team player, now on a starting roster here for the LPL 2016. It is Fiora. The final pick there, a curious one into presumably, again, that Poppy.
Yeah, so should be able to do good work. The tackle is kind of telegraphed, so not a bad riposte there. Also trades relatively well during the early game, so I like the fact that Fiora is coming out. And as far as, I guess, team fight navigation goes, we'll be able to get on top of Easy Hoon at least initially and see if he can chunk him out. Someone really does need to be able to take care of Easy Hoon in these fights because Rise, if he ever gets to that level 16 mark with 2 or 3 items, just unloads on people.
Yeah, we've seen what Rise can do to people. Faker certainly showed it off there at World Championship, but Easy Hoon saying, you know what? Used to be your understudy. This champion's pretty good. Probably learnt a thing or two, you have to think.
Don't let him hear you say that. Understudy no more.
He's far away, thickly. I don't think he can hear me. But exciting to see Easy Hoon on a champion like Rise in his debut game of the LPL. VICI, again, looking quite renewed here, so we'll see how they get done. Looking down the drafts, I think both teams drafted quite well, but VICI seemed to really run away with it, you have to think.
Yeah, I think that VICI are much better the later this game goes on. You know, they've got good CC, very good scaling composition. On the side of OMG, expecting them to try and accelerate the game. 25 to 30 minutes. If this one isn't done, going to be very hard to get it over the line. Because as we said, not great siege, all kind of mid-range. Teamfight will also eventually swing in Poppy's favor, you have to think. So can Cool and the squad get it together?
Oh, we'll flick through the drafts very quickly once again. See, again, Poppy seeing another play here. But exciting to see these two teams play. OMG, team that's pretty much rebuilt from the ground up around Cool. Won't waste too much time, let's get ourselves in the game. And here we are out into the rift for our second series of the evening as VICI Gaming take on OMG for the first time here in the LPL's 2016. Just fanning out now. Nothing too tricky happening in the early stages. But again, lots of exciting stuff for both these teams. And this mid lane matchup, this would have been a great one to see at Worlds, potentially, if OMG had made it. But we're going to get it here in the LPL. Easy Hoon versus Cool. As 5 and Cool actually teaming up and going to get some vision down there. Dandy going to do the same. We'll find Dark and hit him for a little bit of damage. Actually, Vital Pop there as well. Easy Hoon is in the area, and Dark going to get forced out there 2v1.
Yeah, Dark gets chunked, gives up all control over the top side of the map. Good deep vision out of OMG on the bottom lane. See along, just taking a stroll through.
That was pretty aggressive, but
Presence felt. Pastry time.
does walk through the jungle there. Ward from OMG, I think, spotted him here, but Endless actually going to move to the top side of the map, so could have a lane swap, but spotted nicely by the looks of things by OMG.
Yeah, read by both teams, it looks like right now. We'll see whether Fishball actually gets a leash, because if they are lane swapping, probably don't want to give their position away too early. Both camps have been warded right now by VICI. This is something VICI were famous for. Their vision last year was phenomenal. They would get themselves into so many winning positions. They wouldn't necessarily always win, but they would set up the early game very well.
Yep, and you can see they've refined that style towards the end of last year, so we'll see with some new players and some fresh blood just how will they do here in their opening game of the spring season. We are going to have the swap, of course, but just 2v2 in the top lane instead, so we'll invert things up. And there is going to be Poppy vs Fiora in that bottom side now, but effectively our top lane matchup. And double corrupting potion starts. We could see fireworks early on. That's 5 and SMLZ actually getting aggressive early. Caveman, he's going to eat a lot of damage here. Thunderlord's going to pop as well. That Ren did not go off, though.
Yeah, didn't actually pull the trigger there, SMLZ. Tristana was generally seen as the counter pick to Kalista because Explosive Satchel does a lot of work. You can push her in because of the lack of AoE in Kalista's kit. But right now, it looks like the Kalista matchup with the Alistar just getting the better of the 2v2.
Yeah, looking good early at least. 5 does also have Ignite versus the Exhaust for Caveman, so if they want to get aggressive, we've seen 5 play before.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that Amazing or 5 has taken the Ignite. He's a very aggressive player.
Oof, Riposte missed.
Long trades very well there.
Yeah, you have to be careful with Fiora, but you can see those Vitals doing work early as Fishbowl does get his blue buff. So junglers have been relatively quiet. Dandy going to be power farming, actually. There's a little head-on experience there, but as Rex said, fly pretty quickly through that jungle.
Yeah, but you do as well as with Elise. Dandy's actually just stopped for every camp, whereas Elise spent more time walking. Instead, opting to take some Scuttle Crab vision. Can't say I really blame Fishbowl there, especially when you're jungling against Dandy. And wow, Dark just not having a great time so far.
Yeah, maybe getting a little... Needs to shake off the rust, perhaps. Timing not quite there on those riposts just yet. As you do see a ward off to the side. We are going to have a gank swoop in. No, not quite. Fishbowl rethinks it after taking that Scuttle Crab. And Dandy's wrapped around this mid lane. Cool is playing hyper aggressive in this lane.
Yeah, he certainly is. But the reason he's doing it, his jungler's actually sitting below him. Good vision control on the bottom half of the map. And he knows exactly where Dandy has to be because top is warded, 2 areas. Bottom is warded. There's nowhere else for the Rek'Sai to really go. So I like how Cool was playing. Push Easy Hoon up. The problem is, Easy Hoon just doesn't miss much CS.
No.
So Cool doesn't get anything from it.
No, actually slightly behind here, but we'll be just fine. At least keeps him pinned down to that turret. So he can't walk anywhere and maybe get some work done. Teleport versus Exhaust. Cleanse versus Exhaust. So Cleanse versus Teleport. We got it last time. There for Easy and sort of forced out there by the pick out from Cool. Cool is going to have a bit more versatility with his Summoner spell.
Yeah, certainly will, but he has to make sure that he teleports in the right area because otherwise just going to be able to be blown up. Lane's hit the turret in reverse for both mid and top right now, so Dandy kind of has his pick of where he wants to go. Looks like he just continues to farm up and not really much action in the early game. This is what we expected out of VICI. We kind of feel like OMG have to make some fireworks happen, though.
It's hard to say what we expect from OMG, honestly, because everything's changed so much. We certainly expect to watch Cool very closely, though, as the season goes on. He's got a pretty tough opponent here in Easy Hoon as Dark. Working down here on the bottom side. Does have a slight CS lead, but Lung's going to catch up nice and quickly. Going to start shoving that in. We'll see if Dark can keep this frozen and maybe force a couple of CS denies. But right now, it's just very early farming, about 5 minutes in. No team's been too aggressive.
Yeah, so everyone just trying to jockey for position around the map. As I said, with the lanes reversing, means that the pressure's kind of on Dandy right now to be available for counter ganks. Make sure that Fishbowl can't get in there on Elise and start disrupting lanes. Here goes 5.
Nice combo, actually. Endless going to take some damage in. SMLZ can't quite get in for the rest of the trade. But good damage there. Ooh. Endless has to be quite careful, especially if the jungler comes. He's going to die quite quickly.
That was actually pretty bad miscommunication out of Endless and Caveman there. 5 went in nice and aggressively. Looked like Caveman wanted to turn it around. SMLZ was continually smacking him, and, you know, Endless wanted nothing to do with it. He was out.
Caveman actually going to get a ward down here, but at least has snuck in, I believe. Fishbowl not going to get spotted, although now going to walk over that ward. So that tower dive read nicely there by Caveman. Will be shut out by that ward. Fishbowl, though, he's going to get some vision down that Gromp blue buff intersection and then walk out safely with that Sentinel helping. Dandy is going to spot it. Actually going to face check here. Fishbowl could be in a bit of trouble. Dandy going to start to turn the damage on. Nice stun there out from Fishbowl. Easy Hoon flash in though with the Rune Prison. Repels up there as well. Now the teleport's getting burnt and Cool is back in reserve. Dark going to come back in. Dandy locks him up. 5 down here as well for the pulverized. Dandy way too low here for this one, and first blood does go to 5.
Yeah, so 5 able to pick that up. It looked like Dark actually had his teleport cancelled there in the bottom lane. So we'll see whether that makes an impact now that Long has a chance to burn his. Cool, also very aggressive right there. Able to flash in and use that ultimate. That's what we want to see out of the mid laner of OMG. Nice aggressive play. See if he can carry this young squad through.
Yeah, good collapse in general there from OMG, working together to secure that first blood. We thought Dandy was the one that might have found a good target, but Fishbowl had plenty of backup there from his team. Easy Hoon did make the aggressive play as well, did burn his flash in the attempt for the kill, but it's instead going to be 1 kill over to OMG, and a relatively key one as well, although 5 with his Ignite, maybe not the target they wanted to give it to.
Yeah, you know, Alistair, you'll get tanky and stuff. It's still good to get that presence around the map, you know, early gold advantage. Everyone pretty much got assists. And 5 going back.
Whoa, Endless going straight in. Now it's 2v1. SMLZ doesn't really have any friends, but isn't going to die. Good aggression there from Endless and Caveman, but SMLZ should be able to stay safe, farm this up. He's going to force it back now from the dual lane of VICI.
Yeah, should still be able to pick up all the farm. Won't miss out on anything. Will get the same back timing. So in the end, it was a good try, but not really much coming from it from VICI Gaming, as you were saying. And Dandy right now, he's kind of just been farming up a Storm. Not really much presence on the map. And that's not what you're used to seeing out of Dandy. You're expecting the nice deep vision. In fact, that's firmly in hands of OMG right now, and they're looking good.
Yeah, Fishball's been quite far forward. In fact, Five's even come down here as well. So you might have the swap back. SMLZ, I think, heading towards the bottom half of the map. Fishball does get caught up by the pillar, though. Dandy flashes in for the double knock-up, but that's going to be repel away. A port in now for Long's going to try and lock this down, and Fishball absolutely dead as Caveman. Support's getting kills across this game.
Yeah, very bloodthirsty supports coming into this game. And, you know, that's what we were talking about. They had burnt the teleport on Dark, and you were expecting Long to be able to capitalize on that. Don't make an aggressive play. Just understand the fact that you're winning the early game. You're able to stretch VICI across the map. Get your deep vision, but then back away. Don't try and fight. Instead, they go for everything, and Long makes them pay.
Yep, 2 different plays and 2 different kills for supports, as we are going to have the swap back made here, just to make sure we keep presence around that first Dragon area. Bilgewater Cutlass for SMLZ, so another Blade of the Ruin King Callista build. And of course, that standard BF sword out for Endless nice and early. As we do look through, Tiamat already completed for Dark, but we do have, again, the tank items up for Poppy, Balmy Cinder, and a cloth armor to pairing with that potion.
Yeah, so Poppy, it just gets through laning phase so much better with the Balmy Cinder, you know, gives her the wave clear. It's kind of the Yasuo theory, right? You can sit on it for as long as you want. You don't really have to upgrade. And Long going nice and aggressive.
Yeah, really nice trade, actually. Dark couldn't quite have the Vitals in position to go in, although it does proc that one quite nicely. It's a buckler for his trouble, I think. And again, Corrupting Potion doing work here. I've seen it be quite a popular starting item here. And Dandy looking around, maybe thinking about a gank, just trying to get that Rek'Sai control that she's known for, but he's going to back away on the safety of that pink water as Fishball moves in towards the top side of his jungle.
Yeah, still has the ultimate available, so we'll be able to get there relatively quickly if he wants to continue to pressure this side of the map. We'll see now Fishball coming back, and as I said, straight away he's there. Also getting Easy Hoon to move across. Yep,
Dandy actually goes quite aggressive there. Uses the ulti to come back in, and Fishball is looking for that ward. I think it's been put straight in the red pit. Doesn't quite get it now. Aggression from Caveman. He does put that very annoying pillar back up. And now collapse in from 2v2. Actually, Smite did go over to Fishball. I believe he secured that red, so wins that little counter jungling war with the help of his mid laner.
Yeah, so Cool did rotate across, you know. Dark was stuck underneath his turret because of Long, but still wasn't able to get to the fight in time. Junglers just kind of stare at each other, back away.
We've seen again lots of jockeying for position here between the junglers. As Fishball seem to have the early aggression, but Dandy's answering quite nicely now. And this is sort of Rek'Sai's thing. You just keep control, keep tabs of the enemy jungler, and as long as everyone else is safe, you're probably okay to farm up. And Dandy did a lot of farming early on. Yeah,
more of a disruptive force as we see SMLZ get a little bit caught by that pillar, but still maintaining nice and safe. And Fishball, honestly, has been very impressive as Long and Dark have a bit of a scuffle.
Ooh, repost there, but might not be enough. Does actually cancel that dash as well, so Long going to just win out in that early trade. But Fishball coming down for the flank here through the Tribush.
Behind them.
Does spot Caveman, but he's now going to eat a ward. He's actually just going to clear it. No, can't quite. Does see it, sorry. It swaps into the safer form to clear that out from range. Caveman going to spot the pink ward now. Sentinels will find him, but no pressure there. SMLZ, I don't think in position perhaps, or they just didn't want to take it.
Yeah, it looked like there was too many creeps underneath the turret. Even though they had the teleport advantage, even though they had jungler there, did not want to go for it. And this is clever from Easy Hoon. Pushes in mid lane, he's going to recall, but instead of just recalling in lane, walks up into the jungle. All of a sudden, Dark needs to be careful. There might be a rise anywhere on his side of the lane. And it's just the little things that you notice when you see people like Easy Hoon, very cerebral, smart players moving around the map.
He's doing just fine on CS as well, and items are coming along as well for the Rise, Catalyst, and the Tier. Plus, Merc treads nice and early to make sure he doesn't die in lane, keeps him nice and safe. So I like the early item pickups here. See double Cinderhulk as well for these junglers, so I'm going to go more of the tank route there, but do have the Tracker's Knife, which we've seen be, I think, 4 out of 4 for jungle, 3 out of 3, sorry, for jungle games so far.
Yeah, certainly has been. Without Green Ward, it's just way too important to have that vision control around the map. So expecting to see them all season long till the other ones get buffed up a little bit. And Easy Hoon, honestly, with the thing about Rise is it's always been, 5 misses that combo.
Yeah, and that's awkward. He's going to take quite a lot of damage as a trade there. Caveman puts up the pillar, Endless with the auto attacks.
So I like the early game pickups from Easy Hoon because the theory behind Rise has always been as long as you're alive and dealing consistent damage, your output is higher. If instead he goes for the Sork Boots and he gets CC'd up, has to burn the cleanser and gets repetitively CC'd, not going to be able to dish out that consistent damage. And when you look down the lineup, there is so many threats and he needs to be one of them for these team comps to work. Then the Merc trades, especially early in the game, just make a lot of sense.
Yep, cool. Does pop the Frost Queen's claim as well. Has it online already. But wanted a bit of vision, I think. Maybe thought the jungler was around. Those ghosts are pretty smart.
I think he didn't want to get ultied and ran at by EasyHoon because of where the wave was sitting. So instead, he just uses it, moves up towards him.
See, again, another popular mid lane item. It's funny to see a support item in mid, but item is just very effective.
That item is stupid.
Cool snuck in. Actually, did spot him off near the Rift Herald. Dandy going to get CC'd up, though, by the snare.
He has to flash here.
Cool's going to have to get out. Good flash there. Rift Herald going to go to work. Very angry Herald.
Teleport coming in bottom lane, actually, from Cool. They're in a lot of trouble
going
here.
For the trade into SMLZ. He barely lives on a sliver of health, but now that's the ulti out into Endless. Cool has to chase him, but the flash is going to keep him away. Cool already forced to use the flash to slow does land, but here's the counter TP now. Good pillar up there as well. Cool doesn't really have anywhere to go, and Long just going to go straight in on the dive. Gets the ulti there for the knock-up as well. Five going to move his way back in, and SMLZ can't do anything as Endless picks himself up the kill, and now EasyHoon going to come down. Flashes in, gets us now into SMLZ. Endless gets low, but Hoon picks up the kill. Looks for another, does not get it, but a great set of TPs there for VICI.
That is such a late teleport coming out of Dark. Just way, completely off track with the rest of his team. Instead, Long gets there first, able to set it up. Let's take another look at it. You can see that Dark has it available. SMLZ on your screen gets completely chunked out. And then the teleport comes in. Very nicely done, actually, from Cool. Able to chunk Endless out. He's done in this team fight right now. So all the 2 AD carries. And right now is when the Poppy goes. Because of the creeps under the turret, Fiora doesn't follow. And Long is just able to arrive way quicker and clean up the back end of this fight.
Didn't have it, I don't think. Just used it then. Or maybe had to clear creeps out. But no matter what happened, Hoon arrives here, flashes in, and easy cleanup here for him.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't. Dark actually used his teleport first. Long used his second, and there was no return teleport to the top lane. So definitely had it available, just not willing to pull the trigger. And that's not good enough out of OMG. We said that this is a very young roster, but things like being able to get into the bottom lane and help your team out, especially when the teleports are coming out of your lane, should just be able to follow those ones through.
Well, good collapse from VICI. Does net them a few kills. Blue buff now going to get donated over as well to EasyHoon. In fact, Long might get aggressive. Dark again. Face plants
I
the
love
Poppy
that
W.
interaction.
Yeah.
Just Poppy so disruptive with that W. Radius is really big at the moment. As the supports kind of look at each other, Pillar goes out.
That's support trying to one-on-one. When in doubt, Pillar. Endless. Looking for maybe a jungle camp. Does start up the Krugs for himself. But not doing too badly on CS. We've got the Blade actually finished up for SMLZ. So his first item's online. And EasyHoon with that Rod of Ages done nice and early. As Dark's in trouble here in the top lane.
Gonna say, if Long able to pick up that buckler, would have got the nice shield. Maybe even look for the dive. Instead, Dark just sent back. And this was what we mentioned. Finally, VICI have got this duo of really strong solo lanes. Before they had the support jungle really strong duo in Dandy and Mata. Now, with the mid and top laner having upgraded significantly over the offseason, this is going to be exciting to watch VICI play throughout the split.
Well, looking good so far early on. About 1,000 gold up here. They are going to go in for the Rift Herald there as well. Looks like it probably going over to Dandy. Could be EasyHoon as well. But they should be able to secure that very simply. In fact, Long might even be walking down to collect it.
And Dark still with next to no health. Very scared of being dove right now. So will finally back away from the turret. Long has the empowered recall, will fly back. Cooldown reduction boots and Sunfire Cape. A little bit of a different feel here out of the top lane Poppy this time around, but still, same idea. Get some cooldown reduction, be nice and sticky. Just dive onto that Kalista all game long. With a Pillar of Filth, has a pretty much guaranteed stun whenever he wants to. Should be able to make good things happen.
Certainly should. We saw Looper do work in Game 2 against EDG. We'll see what Lum can get done here. Now, he's got some of those items online. Fiora is kind of coming up as well. Moving in towards Sterox, plus has a Tiamat already. He's going to actually finish the Hydra, so goes in there for the pretty standard pickup. In fact, I think sold the other item. Or I misread it. Because that's just the Hydra now.
Definitely Jerome's Fist, and I was the same thing. So actually, what happened? He built the Titanic Hydra, then swapped it over for free to the Ravenous.
That's gorgeous.
So wanted the extra durability in the laning phase. Didn't really think that he needed the lifesteal. So instead, builds up towards Titanic Hydra, swaps it over for free for the Ravenous Hydra. I wouldn't even have thought of doing that.
He's a genius. Never mind. Take it all back.
He's a genius. I actually thought he was a wizard at the start, but SMLZ caught out a little bit.
And
here.
Alchemist perhaps transmutes the item as Five's now in trouble. We've got Dandy down here as well. Five takes a boatload of damage as both ultis are popped in the bottom lane. Dandy is going to track them a bit with the Tremor Sense, but Five's getting all the way out.
Yeah, he certainly is, and that's the scary thing. As soon as you burn both ultimates, you're open to dives. All of a sudden, Danny on that bottom lane, mid lane being pushed in. They need to get the heck out of dodge. That's going to be 5 members of VICI heading towards the bottom lane.
Yeah, great collapse here on the right-hand side for VICI. Dragon available as well. They might move in for it just because, as Endless going to try and knock down this turret, is going to get it. Tristana still very good at knocking down these structures. And VICI going to collect an objective on the way here as well as Dandy starts up the Dragon.
And the scariest thing is they have that confidence in the shots calling still to send Long back to the top lane. Dark won't get too much done up here. You know, not even burning a teleport, and they pick up 3 objectives on top of each other for absolutely free. Top lane turret, into bot, into the Dragon.
And that's just great play here for VICI as they move themselves up in the gold lead standings. Long and Dark going to have another fight here. Repost there, not bad. Actually, just gets the ulti. Now going to move it in for the Vitals here as Grand Challenge is issued. Long, he's going to get it procced on. Dark still chasing in, needs another Vital. Goes way past it, but now Dandy's here. That's going to force the flash out from Fiora. And Dark, who had the 1v1 in the bag, is forced to get away.
Yeah, cool. And Easy Hoon also heading up the river. So Long will be able to get away with his life. Look like Dark actually might have that solo kill with some nice mechanics. And now everyone kind of heading towards the top side of the map.
Well, he's going to give pressure relief down to the bottom side here. Endless, the one now, has to perhaps defend this bottom side turret. Caveman is in the area and is able to move out the minions pretty quickly with explosive shot as well. So SMLZ not going to get too much damage done there to that tower. And Easy Hoon still hanging out in the mid lane. Going to clear his continue to clear creeps out for himself. He's 20 CS ahead of Cool right now and stacking that tier quickly. That roll was done at 14 minutes or so. So he's going to be online with those 2 damage items nice and quickly.
Yeah, he certainly is. You know, at 18 minutes into the game, 180 creeps. It's very impressive on a champion like Raz, especially when you're against a shoving mage like Lissandra. So we'll see whether he's able to keep that farm up, going towards that Archangels. And as soon as he has those 2 items, Rise just turns into a powerhouse.
Yeah, we talk about Rise needing to sort of hibernate as the ulti does go out from SMLZ, looking for a gank. Nope, looking to escape. It's actually just 2v2, but they're scared enough of Trundle here. I think they may have thought a jungler was there, but Dandy's on the way. He's not quite there yet. And that's a wasted ulti there from Kalista.
Teleport is available. You saw straight away they pink ward the brush behind them because it looked like they had prior knowledge. Teleport coming into the top lane now.
Now going to come in. That's Cool. Going to move in. Repost does not get the slow. Cool. Maybe wants to flash for it. He's going to need to go in, but he's gone deep. He's popped the ghost as well. Moves in with the ulti. CC's there. Long going to move back in onto Dark, but that should be a kill. Dark is low. He actually gets the kill. Long is going to survive as well. Completely outplays. And now Dandy's here with Easy Hoon. Cool. Absolutely dead as he gets snared and knocked up out of his claw.
And Dandy gives the kill over to Easy Hoon as well. Always the jungler feeding over his laners. And that is just, that's proof how strong Poppy is in this current patch. You know, we said how many champions we feel are must bans. Poppy can join the list straight away because that was insane.
Certainly was. And Long really showing up as the new top laner for VICI. Mid-tower falls here as well. 5 warning kills, 3-0 in towers for VICI. And that gold lead's starting to creep awfully far up. 5k up now, as let's see this again.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Long already pretty much like half health at that point. Flashes in, Cool, able to chunk him out. Decides to go back in on Dark, get some good CC here with the ultimate and executes him. Picks up the buckler for the extra health. And then this is the best bit. Dandy secures a knock-up. Easy Hoon runs in. Dandy's walking away. Cool guys don't look at explosions. And yet, you know, just a little bit of a nod.
Yep. Doesn't phase Long. Makes those plays all the time. Just casually outplaying people on Poppy here is a very impressive showing from the young player. Actually down on the bottom side now as well. We've had plenty of towers knocked out by VICI, so Long fancies himself maybe a bottom laner now. But Endless is here going to take his creeps away instead. But Lung's starting to apply some pressure. I don't know why he's down here.
I don't think he understands why he's down there. He's like, I'm going to recall now. Goes back, working his way towards that Iceborne Gauntlet. That's Cool. Once again, using the Spooky Ghost just to farm. And I don't blame him right now. Easy Hoon is in the position where if Cool is ever too far up, especially with Cleanse available on Easy Hoon, he can just catch him out. Caveman, on the other hand.
Yep, caught out of position indeed. OMG, you're going to try and tear him down, and Fishball will get himself the kill. A little too aggressive on the warding pattern there.
Yeah, it certainly was. And once again, Dark in trouble.
In trouble. Ulti not there for Poppy. Dark going to go back in. Does proc his own. Repost now there as well. Trying to dodge all this damage. Dark is healing so much, but Long slams him into the wall. Dark moves out. He doesn't want anything to do with this, but Easy Hoon is already on the way. Dark might die before he gets there. Hoon's going to go pick himself up a kill and gets himself another easy one.
Just great rotational play coming out of Easy Hoon. That's twice that the top laners have been brawling, and these fights are going for so long. As soon as he sees the fight start, he just hightails the top lane. Didn't have to burn any summoner spells. This time Baron is going to be on the line, and OMG not in any position to contest.
No, this is aggressive, but intelligently so here for VICI. Nice and early on the Baron. Fishbowl is around for the steal attempt. Cool just jumps straight in for it, but the Baron does go over. Cool going to go out of his ulti. Fishbowl's going to die to Endless. Cool's going to die to Endless. Endless picks up the unofficial triple.
Yeah, with the Baron going down as well, all of a sudden VICI can just stream down mid lane. That's a 7,000 gold advantage at 22 minutes in. You have to say a lot of it started with those really strong solo lanes, but Endless and Caveman, they're holding up their end of the bargain. That was the only question of the VICI lineup, and they look good.
Certainly do in this particular game, and OMG scattered here in this particular one. VICI going to continue powering through. These poor structures, we've seen this game before with Tristana. They do not last long.
And you know, everyone was talking about EasyHoon joining Dandy on this VICI lineup and how exciting it would be, you know, if they're coached by Home, everything this team could do through pick bans, through how they play the map. But Long for me was arguably the biggest pickup, as Hoon wants Dark.
Yep, Repost in there. He's going to miss the snare. Does get it on the end, but a blowback there from Endless, actually, from ulti?
He actually held
Just dashed out.
the W there, EasyHoon, so was able to avoid the riposte. In the end, didn't pick himself up a kill, but Long just gives him that solid top laner. He was always a rock on UP. UP not a great team, you know, but Amy moving over to LGD.
Oh, that's going to be a
That's
cancel.
not great. All right. Amy moving over to LGD and Long moving over to the VT lineup. It, arguably two of the bigger pickups of the offseason.
See this 1v1 again. Look at how long it takes EasyHoon to walk up there. But he already knows he's going to get there by the time this fight's over.
As I said, as soon as the fight started, EasyHoon was like, I'm in. Long just continues to chase Dark. He had the mechanics to get maybe the 1v1 done, but as soon as you add a Rise into the mix, never going to go in his favor.
Very impressive to see rotations from EasyHoon without teleport there, which Cool does have in that mid lane, as VICI going to get themselves a Dragon number 2 here in this game. It's been a relatively low kill game, but these kills have been high impact. VICI again playing that strong map-oriented league that we saw from last game with just, honestly, upgraded players.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know, we said Rise, level 16, he's nearly there. 2 items. Well, let's give him 3 because of how well he's playing the game. 303 on track for that 10 CS per minute, and they've knocked down the 5 turrets. EasyHoon's going to be a monster. EasyHoon is a monster.
Yep, I think going for Void Stuff next to really maximize that early damage output. Even at this point, Endless with the Rapid Fire Cannon and the QSS is done. And we've seen Long do work with no items. He's got 2 now, with a 3rd on the way for a bit of additional tankiness. So VICI just playing so well around the map, together in skirmishes, in duels. Everything they're doing, they seem to do together, and it's just working so far. OMG have not found an answer for how efficient VICI are playing this game.
Yeah, completely agree with you. And as soon as Long... he's got the 40% cooldown reduction right now. Finishes the Spirit Visage. It's only going to get scarier. And Endless pushing into the base. OMG, very slow to rotate.
Yeah, just has no fear here. Endless even going to stay and make sure it goes down. Dark tries to come in, but now it's going to be trouble. EasyHoon comes in with a snare. Dark is dead on the end as Venless takes him out. Now Dandy's getting low, but they're going to jump in onto SMLZ. Who's the next target? 5 has used his ulti. They'll transfer aggro once again. SMLZ could be in trouble. Endless wants it. He's going to look in for it. Does get it as it goes over to Caveman. And they'll just keep going. Cool. He tries to make a big play. Pops his ulti. Gets QSS out of Fishbowl. Going to be in trouble off in the back line here as well. And VICI just waiting for these kills to come in for them. They'll take the inhib instead.
Yeah, and they might even take the game, still able to push through. There's still a couple of members dead on the OMG lineup. I don't know if they have what it takes to repel it.
Well, Long's going to pop the W up and go straight in onto Cool. Does get snared up there by Lissandra, but tanking tower aggro does get the knock up onto Fishbowl with the ulti. Fishbowl's dead as Endless gets himself his 5th kill of the game, and this just could be it here. One tower's going to go down. Long barely lives. He does people towards the fountain, and there's going to be another one going. They're going to go for it, and they should get it here.
And that was an absolute clinic put on VICI. Dark goes in. Cool goes in one more time. That's going to be all she wrote. And wow, 26 minutes, 8 structures to nothing, 12 kills to 2.